welcome to Java by PC Tutorials. It's Pravar. In this tutorial, we'll see how to install Java on your machine, and then we will write a very basic program so that you will be familiar with the basic syntax of Java programming. Okay, so let's start. It is now owned by Oracle. So you can simply search on Google like Java download Oracle. You will get this link that will take you to the Oracle website. So on this website you will find out you can download any version of Java. The latest one is Java SE 14. Likewise you can download Java SE 11, that is having the long-term support from Oracle. So for now we'll download the latest version. You will find out the link here like JDK download. You can simply click it. So it will take you to this screen where you have to select the operating system you want to download Java for. So I have Windows 64. You might have Linux and or Mac. So you can simply click on these links, whatever you want. So I'll click on this link because I have Java. I have Windows 64. You can see on my machine the download has been completed. So I chose Windows 64 bits JDK version 14.0.1. You might have Windows 32 bits, but for that the latest version of JDK is not supported. So you can download the older versions of Java. And if you have Linux or Mac, you can download the corresponding versions of Java. Okay. So now we'll go to the location where it is downloaded. It's a simple exe. So we'll run this. So you can simply give the permission. So you can simply click on next. If you want to change the path where you want to store the Java files, then you can change it from here. Otherwise you can simply click on next. So it will start installing it. So it has been successfully installed, if you can see. So we'll close it. So now the Java has been installed successfully in my machine, but before writing programs we have to set up path in the environment variables of the OS. So we'll see why we want to set up the path, why it is needed, but first let's set up it. So my Java has been installed in the program files in Java folder. In Java folder you will find out JDK 14.0.1 folder, or whatever version you have downloaded and installed in your machine, and you will find the bin folder in that. So in the bin folder you will find all the tools that are needed for the compilation of the Java programs or to run the Java programs and other things. So one of them you can say is Java tool. Other you can see is Java C, that is the compiler for Java. Another is Java doc to generate the documentation for the inbuilt classes, or maybe also for your programs you write. So to generate documentation we use this tool Java doc. We'll see all these later, but for now you have to take this path. You can copy it from here. After you having the path, we'll go to the system properties, where you will find advanced system settings and then the environment variables. So in the system variables you have to paste this, or you have to give this path to the OS so that it could find it from any location. So here there is a path variable. You can edit that path and you can press on new and simply paste the path until bin folder. Okay, so simply press OK and it will automatically be saved. Yeah, so now you're good to go. You can write the Java program now, but to just to see if it has been successfully installed and the path has also been set up correctly, you can open the command prompt and you can simply write Java version, which will tell you which Java version has been installed in your machine. If you get these three lines, that means you have successfully installed Java on your machine. Now the Java has been installed successfully in our machines. What we have installed is JDK plus JRE. So we need two things to run any Java program on any OS. First is JDK for the compilation of the programs, that is Java Development Kit, and the JRE for the execution of the programs, that is Java Runtime Environment. So before installation, both these are packaged together in one package. But after installation, they are independent and can be used separately also. So in the Java package, we get more than 5,000 inbuilt classes and interfaces that comes with it. So we set up the path of the JDK until the bin folder in the environment variables of the operating system. So why that was necessary? Let's take a simple example. So you have a fabulous car, but that is broken. So you must go to garage or to access the tools to fix the car. But to access those tools, you must know the address of the garage, right? So if I know the address of the garage, I can simply access the tools and fix my car. That's it. So likewise, in the case of Java also, if you want to compile the program or to run the program, you need some tools. So you must know, or the operating system must know, because operating system will run your program, right? So your operating system must know where the Java tools are residing. So that is the location that we set in the environment variables of the operating system. So that was pretty simple, I guess. Now we will start writing a program, but before writing a simple program, we must know some rules and conventions that we have to follow. So in Java, we have to write every statement within a block, and that block is called class. So why we call this block class, you will get to know in further tutorials. Don't worry about that right now. So always keep the first letter of your class name as capital. It's the convention that you must follow to increase the readability and maintainability of your code, okay? So to make your class executable, to make your program executable, you keep main function in the class, because while running your program, JVM will first find out where the main function is. It's the starting point of the program. So the source code of Java program must be stored in a file having extension .java. So you will save your program with the extension .java. So the name of .java file should be same as your class name. It's the convention, not the rule, but I recommend you follow this convention. So Java C tool, that is the compiler of Java, will compile the program and convert it into .class file. That is the bytecode of that program. So Java tool invokes the JVM to run the program. The bytecode of every class is always stored in a separate .class file. It's the fact that if you have the different name, like I told you, you need to save your file with the same as the class name, but it's just the convention, not the rule. So if you save your program with different file name and not your class name, then the bytecode, but after compilation, the bytecode of every class will be stored in a .class file, and that .class file name will be same as your class name. So when you start like three Java apps maybe at the same time on the same computer, you will get three instances of JVM, not only one. So you can have multiple instances of JVM on the same machine. So because each application runs inside its own JVM. So now to write a simple program, you need some IDE like Eclipse, or you can simply write it in a notepad also, no worries. But I recommend use Eclipse. You can simply go to Google and download Eclipse. It's a simple installation process. You can just download it and install it on your machine. I have already installed it in my machine. So let's open it. So this is where my Eclipse is residing. So you will find the icon of the Eclipse here. You need to double click. So you can mention the workspace location here where you want to store your programs and press OK. So this type of screen you will get after opening Eclipse. So you need to create one project, new project. We'll choose Java project and you can give it a name, any name you want. Next, next, finish. So after creating a simple Java project, you will get a screen like this where you have a project. Under the folder of the project, you will have the src folder where you will keep your programs. So let's create a new class. So before creating a class, we need to create a package. So for now, you understand package as a just as a folder for now. You will get to know in the further tutorials what actually the package means in Java. So we can give any name to a package. So under package, we need to create a class. So we can give any name to a class. So we will keep it the first letter of the class as capital because it's the convention. So it will create a file sample.java with the same name as the class name. You can even rename this class or you can even rename the file name, not the class. But I recommend keep the file name same as the class name. So we'll create a simple main function in this sample program. Because to create your program executable, you have to keep the main function inside the class. Okay, so you don't need to worry about these syntax for now, or maybe I can simply make you understand for now. So this is the name of the function main. This is the argument it will take. It is a string array. Okay, if you know the basic programming terms, it is the array s of the type string, and this is the return type of the function, that it will not return anything. And this is static function. You'll get this term in the further tutorials, and this is public. So public means it can be accessed outside also, because JVM has to access this function, so it has to be public. This term you will get to know in detail in further tutorials. You don't need to worry about that also. So to the print any statement in Java, we can use system dot out dot print. Okay, anything, any string maybe. So I love Java by PC. So we'll let's save it and run it as a Java application. So in the console you can see the output I love Java by PC, what we have print. So it's the simple program. Please try it in your machines also. So the first question is, can we keep more than one class in a single Java file? So let's try it. Seems it's letting us do that. So we can keep two classes in the same Java file. So whenever we save the Java files in Eclipse, it automatically compiles our Java program or files and convert it into bytecode or the .class files. So as I told you previously, that each class, whatever we write, will have its separate bytecode file, separate .class file. So let's prove it. Let's go to the package or the project in the workspace what we have created. So you will find under the project a bin folder where you will get your package, whatever name you gave to your package. So under your package you will get the .class files. So as you see, we have one file. Under one file we have two classes, but we have two .class files generated. Okay. So now the second question was, if we have more than one class into a single Java file, then can we keep main function in each class? I guess it will let us have the main function in each class. Let's prove it. Yeah, so it's letting us have the main function in each class in the single file. How it is letting us do this? Because for each class it is creating a separate bytecode or the .class files. So that's why it let us keep the main function in each class. Now the another question is, can we keep more than one function in a single class? So let's try it. Public static void main. So obviously it will not allow us to keep the same exactly same signatured main function because it will be a duplicate function and one class cannot have the exact duplicate functions two times. So we need to change some things. So we can change the argument, like this first main function is having the argument string array type. So the second main function can accept the argument as integer maybe. Okay. So yeah, it is letting us create two main functions in the same class. Okay. Now the question is, which main function will be called by JVM? So basically the JVM will find out this main function because it will find out the signature that this main function is having. All other main functions are ignored by JVM. So this function will be called by JVM, and this function can be called explicitly by the programmer. So let's call this second main function. So it needs the argument as integer. We can give any number for now. Okay. So let's run it. You can see I love Java by PC. So this print statement ran, and then I am the programmer. So for the next line character, you can use, instead of print function, you can use println function for the next line. So it will print it in the next line. So now the last question can be, can we call main function explicitly? That main function which is called by JVM, can we call explicitly from our program? Let's try it. So I have created a sample2 program for you. So we will try to call this sample class main function from this program. Okay, so I have a sample2 class which is having a main function from which we will try to call the So we'll write the sample class name. Okay, sample dot. It is having two main function, you can see. So we want to call this main function. So it needs a argument, a string array type argument. So don't worry about the syntax of creating a string array for now. We will take this up in the next or the further tutorials. So it's not giving a compilation error. So it seems we can call the main function, which is called by JVM also. So let's run it. Yeah, so it successfully ran. So we can call the main functions explicitly also. Let me tell you one more alternative syntax of the main function you can use. So as you can see, it takes argument as string array. So instead of using this array type, we can have three dots here. Okay, so three dots here means is variable argument, like you can pass the argument or you can skip passing the argument. So let's try this. So here we are calling this main function, so we will not pass this argument, so it's not giving any compilation error. So let's run it. So it successfully ran. But if you have this array type, then it will give you compilation error because it needs an argument to call the main function. That's it for today, guys. I hope you liked today's tutorial. If you have any questions, you can comment in the below section or you can message me personally. I'll get back to you. So that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. You will get the notification for the next tutorials. Bye bye.